Good afternoon. I am Danny Cowart with your Simpson County School Board. I'm here today to make some statements and explanation on how the school board arrived at the decisions they did on how we're going to do school going forward and the erection and maintenance of facilities. First, let me explain that Mississippi school law is very clear in our policy on FA. States the school board has the power, authority, and duty to have the responsibility for the erection, repairing, and equipping of school facilities and making of necessary school improvements. The big word in that for me is the word duty. The policy goes on to say, therefore, it is the goal of this school board to seek funds to provide both the facilities needed and for the number of students in the district, and to provide the type of facilities that would best accommodate and support the educational program. Simpson County School Board, currently seated, had 2 incumbents and 3 new members. We were faced with areas of concerns and challenges, and they were discovered by measurable data. And here are the 3 main ones we discovered. Facilities presented a system-wide global challenge with no global plan in place to fix it. The district at the time we were seated was a D level in student achievement, with C level highest reached in student achievement over a 10-year span. Enrollment in the district had a consistent and significant decline. So we began a 2-phased approach to this. The first was student achievement. As buildings themselves are not an indicator that student achievement would rise, you must have both in place. Simpson County School Board completed whole board training on evaluating the superintendent. It was one of the first done by the Mississippi School Board Association in this format. As a result of the training, Simpson County School District goals were aligned with evaluation for the CEO or the superintendent of Simpson County School District. This is significant in that we were having the first appointed superintendent in the history of the county. The current superintendent was appointed for 1.5 years. At that end of that term, he resigned, and we have our second appointed superintendent. It was important to note, as we began the evaluation process with the superintendent, not on the superintendent, that the strategic plan and the goals set by the Simpson County School Board aligned. As a result, we set 4 goals: increase student achievement, maintain safe and orderly, healthy environment, increase the number of students that will have a positive K through 12 experience, and maintain a sound financial balance. We appointed Dr. Tori Anna Holloway upon the resignation of the former superintendent. Dr. Holloway enhanced our strategic plan on how students would achieve and would report to the board on that achievement. Go Green, a method that I am personally impressed with and the board accepted wholeheartedly, is a method of drilling down to student achievement level of each student and each teacher. The introduction for the need of academies within the upper grade schools was evident. There's a paradigm shift in how we do school to increase student achievement. There would be data presented to the board to focus on student achievement prior to the state test coming out to make sure we were aligned with our goals and the strategy to meet that in student achievement. The second part, the facility. Early in 2019, the board appointed the Bailey Educational Group to come in and do a comprehensive facility study. This facility study demonstrated to us the severe need of a global plan for facility improvement. Board considered 2 options to bring to the public out of about 5 offered during 2019. One was option 4.1, which considered 2 high schools, and one was option 5.0, 3.0, which allowed the use of Pioneer Park as the only basis that we could use finances for to have a consolidated high school. There was not enough money any other way. During that time, the board discovered that the new elementary school at Magee could house 900 students, and there was between 500 and 600 there. We moved the fifth grade, or rather the fifth grade did not move up the next year, but stayed at a B level, almost A level achievement school in a brand new building, rather than moving to a DF school at the middle school at that time with poor facilities. Mendenhall was delayed as the advice of renovating the new fifth grade building did not work out. It was too severe to renovate, and we began to build a new one. 2020, COVID hit. Everything was put on hold on facility upgrades until we could see how this pandemic would affect us. We learned how effective distance learning was, new ways of doing school. Early 2021, board began to move on the feasibility of the Pioneer Park as possible consolidated high school. The only option that we could see with the funds available at the time to put in a global fix on the facilities. Due diligence produced that a land slot with the county was a viable option with a win for both parties. But upon inspection by an architect, the larger building of the 55,000 square feet that would help us with a new school was discovered that the classrooms could not be designed around the design of the three-story building. We discussed with CoLin the utilization of the Pioneer Park in our current CTE and letting us use the CoLin campus for our Simpson County Consolidated High School. Those discussions did not lead to that occurring. Arrival of ESSER, Elementary Secondary School Emergency Relief Funds. Approximately 1/3 of the total bonding power at the current time of the county was now available for projects in existing schools, but not new school construction. Global significant upgrade could now take place now in an efficient and effective manner because of the ESSER funds. We employed and received guidance from Jim Young's public group on public finance. We became aware of financing options other than a bond issue. We refinanced our mills, 3-bill note. And during a time that we did not think feasible, we received a lower rate and generated almost $6 million in new money and no tax increase to the county. With all the investigation and all the due diligence on, we discovered that now building a new consolidated high school was feasible, and more than that, advisable. Site was selected after considering 3 16th section land properties. One in particular out by the CoLin building was discovered. CoLin owned 50 acres at the entrance of it. The Game and Fish Commission owned the land to the right of it. There's a major power grid within 25 acres behind it, and we would have to build approximately a half a mile of new road entrance in any way that you came into it. With the best guesstimate, without spending money on a detailed study, of $1 million a mile, the road itself would cost us $500,000. Therefore, we studied 6 privately held properties. One of those was purchased just north of that 16th section land there at CoLin. The administration brought in a demographer to give us advice on how the board's final decision should be made. And it was discovered in that investigation, in that advisement, that where the people lived, where your population is where your school needs to be built. We accepted that advice. Now, each one of those schools that we've shown you in this study that was severe, that needed upgrades, every location can be significantly upgraded. The alignment of student achievement is now and aligned with new facilities. The plan gives a new paradigm shift in how you do education in Simpson County. With that, the best solution to the financing, through the advice of the public finance people, we discovered that the bond issue may be less burdensome on the taxpayers. So we voted to present a bond issue beginning March 29th. I'm not here to promote or pursue how you would vote on funding. I hope this information answered your questions. It was meant for information on how the board, through its due diligence over the last 3 years and in very trying times, came to the decisions it did on how to move our school district forward, both in student achievement and in new facilities. Thank you. Good day.